following podcast is brought to you exclusively by the Rad Rob Radio Network.
This is PBA champion Kyle Troop, and you're listening to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. As you know, JP Jr. used to be introduced as the sexiest man in bowling, and now the world. But he doesn't have the best hair in the world. I do. Sorry, bud, but you know the deal. Pick it out. Fear the fro, baby.
Welcome to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. A hard-hitting, in-depth, cutting-edge look into the world of bowling. This podcast will not only cover all things bowling, but will also give you a raw look into real-life issues. You'll get unfettered access into the mind of one of the most gifted bowlers of this or any other generation. So without further ado, let's introduce you to the hosts of the show. Rad Rob Francois. Rad Rob Francois. Dr. Ocho. And the incomparable Johnny Petraglia Jr. Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Hey guys, welcome back to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. I am your host, Rad Rob Francois. This is episode number 82. I'd like to introduce my co-host, co-hosts, hostesses? The two Utes. They are in Ochoville. They are both together. It is Dr. Ocho and the star of the show, the sexiest man in the world, Johnny Petraglia Jr. Good evening, gentlemen.
Great to be here as always, Rad Rob.
Rad Rob. And are you saying
E-Rad.
hostesses because you're thinking of like snack cakes and whatnot?
Snack cakes. Yes, I am. What's up, Del Picard? What's up, Kyle Michalowski? What's going on, gents? Good to have you guys here. I'm a little bit under the weather again. Anytime Mike Val comes on, I'm sick. So I don't know what it is, something in the water.
When you're sick and Mike Val's here, we usually get like 3 times the amount of views. So maybe it's like actually a good sign. So, I mean, I hope you feel
Maybe
better, but I'm also kind of happy you're not feeling too well because it means
Hello,
people
Taryn. I appreciate that, Johnny.
We're happy you're not feeling well. That should be on a shirt.
Yeah.
Get the art department on this.
What's up, Derek? Yeah, it's just sinus congestion and draining and coughing and all that crap. So if I have to mute the mic every now and then because I'm coughing my lungs out, then that's what I got to do. Nicole, Valerie, what's going on, everybody? Happy birthday, Nicole.
And speaking of birthdays,
Right.
we obviously, I think, I didn't know this until just now that there's 2 birthdays in the house on the show. Is that right? If I'm not mistaken?
That is correct, sir.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah. Well,
Ocho's daughter turns 1 today, which is crazy. I can't believe it's been a year already.
She needs to get a job.
Yeah, and my daughter, Addison, just turned 5 today. So, we're Eskimo dads. I had no idea that they had the same birthday. So that's cool.
Happy birthday to yours too, Rob. I got here at the perfect time for a party. I got here with just enough time to eat the food
And not deal with anybody.
I was offered the cake. I shook everybody's hand and said hi. And now it's the after party with Jen and Ocean. I'm already starting at Margaritaville over here. So
I love it. Brad Winsky, Bowling with the Pfaff, is in the house. Good
gentlemen,
evening, guys.
ladies, as always, a pleasure to have you.
Yes, happy birthday to baby Ocho.
Yeah.
And
Right on.
we do have a
Wow.
special guest. Best birthday ever, Derek knows. Oh, I'm interested to find out who that is. Stephen Block's in the house. What's going
Steve.
on? $2.99 in his first week at league this past Sunday. Nice.
Excellent. That's
With the Widow 2.0. I love that ball. I love watching that ball.
I finally drilled mine. That's one of those balls that it's another one that there's a reason everybody likes it. That ball's pretty fantastic. And I was a big fan of the Ghost. So it's a nice compliment to it. Rolls a little bit sooner, a little bit more overall, I would say, but a little less whippy. It's a really, really nice ball.
People seem to love it. So I'm glad you got yours drilled. It's Taryn's pretending it's her birthday too, so that's fine. It doesn't matter. You can identify as your birthday today. That's cool. It's 2023.
Yeah,
what are you
it
gonna
has
do?
to be.
Mike Val is waiting in the wings, but before we bring him in, Johnny, I just want to say, on a personal level, I am very happy to see you back home, especially hanging out with your boys, Ocho and JD, and your dad, and everybody. You saw Mike Val. You were hanging out with him the other day too. So it's you're a lot happier. Not to say that you weren't happy out in Vegas, but it's a different kind of happy. It's you're around family, so
no knock on the way people live geographically, but
they suck. You can say
the family love that you experience in the Northeast. I feel bad for people that don't understand what it's like. How
true.
After 10 years of not seeing somebody, you can pick right back up and pretend like you saw each other yesterday. It's very loving. It's a very homey place, and unlike Vegas, at least it's somewhat structured. Out here, people look forward to gatherings or barbecues on a Sunday afternoon to watch football.
Absolutely, it's a completely different culture. I totally understand.
It's a culture that I'm more used to. I had to conform to kind of a different way of living and a different lifestyle on the West Coast, which was fine. But for me, it was just a totally different pace than home. I'm actually happy I lived where I lived for a while, so now I could actually bring back some reason to the wackos that are from New York. That always think their shit doesn't stink. You know who you are. We all do it. We all do it.
Yeah.
But it's a nice. I enjoyed my time there, but I'm fully committed here now. Like I signed up for a Monday league in Howell. Spend Tuesdays and Wednesdays off with family, guys like JD, Coach, obviously. So I'm in a good spot right now. Work is good, life is good, everything's good.
Actually, you already have your schedule down, which is pretty amazing. Usually, when people relocate, it takes them.
And Johnny,
a ton of time just to start establishing their norm or something like that.
Everyone knows Johnny. He needs structure, so it's good that you have a schedule and you have structure and you're able to stay on track.
I struggle even when I have structure. So if I have none, oh boy, it's not good. So
Ricky Smith said you guys can't be in the pool together tonight. I really expected you two to be in the pool tonight. That
we were. You know what? It kind of downpoured today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Made it a little bit cooler than it should, and it's also kind of drizzling on and off still. So we didn't want to run the risk of, damaging the equipment.
Mm-hmm. That's the excuse.
Speaking of damaging the equipment, let's introduce our special guest. I have no idea what that segue was. I had nothing else. He is the one and only Mike Val.
You are.
Mike, sorry to keep you waiting.
It's okay. I was really having a conversation with him.
Hello,
Michael.
So, the wait was good because I was actually sitting next to somebody that I was having a very intellectual conversation with. He wants to say hi.
Boys, what's going on?
Special guest appearance. Hello, Ed. So you actually got me speechless. Like that's what anybody that's not watching right now, start watching. We have got the mega front runner for this year's Player of the Year, Mike. Nice work. Hello, Troy Lynn.
Sir, how are you? What's going on?
Always a pleasure. Mike, what a beautiful surprise.
Where's the guns, Ocho? Where's the guns?
Yeah, you first, man. Jesus, you kidding me? Like, I can't now. I'm the inferior one here. And Ocho's never inferior, even in his own home. But my God, oh my God, look at this guy. That's why he can freaking throw that ball like that. Built like a brick shithouse. He filled out that Troy Polamalu jersey better than Troy did. Holy shoot.
I kind of agree with that. I feel the same way.
You can that one.
Who's here as well? Huh? Who's here?
I didn't know he was freaking jacked.
Yeah, dude, he's a fucking monster.
What the hell?
He is.
I mean, I'm only 5'2". That's the way I look big. Shoot.
Troy, how tall are you? Are you 5'11"? Are you 6 feet? What are you? What do you say?
5'11".
5'11". That's right.
If I wear Skechers, I'm 5'10".
Almost there. You got that. So obviously, real quick, now that we have two legends in the house as guests tonight, first off,
ice cream.
Still, I'm not going to blame anybody for the inclement weather in Virginia at Bud's place. But Troy, congrats on the runner-up finish.
Thank you.
Obviously, adding to your already storied season, and now I think you're in fourth after 2 days of qualifying down at the Villages Classic, if I'm not mistaken.
Third or fourth,
something like that.
That's awesome. So obviously, the stroke is still there. The confidence is still at an all-time high. It's still amazing to watch, but I'm still trying to figure out how to watch the Bud Moore show. Still can't seem to get it out.
We're going to watch Mike Val eating an ice cream drumstick cone, or we're going to watch Troy look jacked. What's going on?
I'm going to take for a second. I did watch our man.
Mikey, can you turn your camera?
Maybe
turn your phone sideways.
Landscape so we can get bigger.
Yeah, there you go.
Bigger mic. There we go.
Is Troy just in a zone, or is he just a hidden commodity that was there the whole time? So I almost feel like
Troy's like, I'm third or fourth. I don't give a fuck. Like, he's just so in the zone and so chill. He's like, I don't fucking care. I'm just gonna bowl my game.
It's more than a zone right now at this point. It's like he's always had it, and now he's just freaking out there. Let's go to
He's
Strip
unconscious.
and see what sticks.
No,
Yeah.
John.
He's standing on his head to use
So Johnny, our man
a
had the front
goalie
11 in
term
game
for
3 this
hockey.
morning.
yeah.
He dead aced the front 11, and then he
Gagged it off.
He bear clawed it for 300.
What does that mean?
Oh
It
man.
means he threw one shitty when he needed it.
Oh, and he got
Let's not forget, Johnny, that Troy lost to one of the greatest bowlers of all time,
Yes.
Pete Weber.
Obviously, was out with a vengeance and something to prove to somebody this week. He was in his zone, huh?
His name shirt looked like the back of a law firm.
I know.
You ever notice that?
I know. Sorry, we're having a side conversation,
Yeah, there's
guys.
somebody else on the couch here.
Are they eating ice cream also?
Listen,
Can we tell Johnny who's sitting on the couch?
We have
Jesus, we have John.
There's a real legend in the building here.
Yeah, John, there's a real legend in the house, too.
We have a third.
Oh yeah.
We have an extra special one here on top of
Mr. Schaefer sitting over there.
besides Heidi.
Heidi's over there.
I guess
Ryan
we're
Schaefer's
about
over there.
to Another
Yeah, here.
unstoppable addition to this trio.
The immovable force meets the what is it, Rob?
The irresistible force.
Irresistible force meets the movable object.
Ryan Schaefer's kind of movable.
Yeah.
No, he's not Andre the Giant size.
No, he's not Andre the Giant.
Wait, are we still trying to decipher who the other special guest is?
I just told you who.
I tell you.
What were we doing?
Ryan
He's eating a
Schaefer.
freaking ice cream, so
Shape is in the house.
Open your ears.
Well, make sure that you go and replay where I bragged about him on last week's
oh, that's
show.
true. Yeah, you laid over on
And
him.
also
He
think
did.
I credited him to your See No Evil Say
Hall
No
of Fame.
Evil t-shirt.
I've been saying that for a long time. Him and
Hall
Darren.
of Fame.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, hands down. That's actually been he is the prime candidate for that Hall of Fame discussion.
Him and Jared.
all the time. Yeah, well, even more so Ryan than Jared.
Absolutely.
But
You don't make
somebody
56
else,
shows
that's
without being
another guy.
good.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Mike, obviously, and Rob, we have Mike specifically. Obviously, we are also joined by two legends in our sport, which is hopefully Ryan
Well, legend now.
comes and says hi.
I'm a hack.
If not, tell Ryan we love him, and I'll
Where's
see
the
him
chat?
soon. And I can't wait to see him at the next Chacos or Sammy V event.
Andy's ahead of Glenn Smith.
Rob, you had brought Mike Val on to talk about the X League, right?
Yes, that is correct. They had their meeting live
Yeah,
on
no one knew that.
Facebook. Was it
Actually,
Monday night? I believe it was.
what we're doing? You don't know about that?
I was not familiar with the X League.
Let him go, man. I would be doing the same thing.
I'm getting nervous. The poor guy.
What's wrong?
He's really excited about the way that Mike is. You know, certain people make certain foods look good. Like right now, if Mike was in a commercial,
It's a stick.
if it was in a commercial, I would go to Wawa and get that exact
and
code
get a
right now.
freaking get a fudgesicle or whatever. the hell
I just got
it's
signed by the Mayfield Creamery staff. I'm on staff.
He's sponsoring the
Creamery.
chocolate eclairs now or something.
But yeah, let's get into this X League talk.
Do you know what it is?
I actually
Whenever you guys
don't.
are ready.
I'm as new to it as anybody else is.
Do
So
they do
you'll
flips like in
vouch for
wrestling? The Extreme Wrestling League.
So what's
It's
really
the
big
XFL, but it's bowling.
traveling? The new wave is like traveling bowling, like UBA, right?
All right.
Right. That's like the new fad, right? So
Yeah.
once a
Yeah.
month. But there's always been issues with other organizations, especially when they take 40% of the money off the top. That's the biggest thing, and there's been like that for years. Always been problems like that, and people keep going back to it over and over and over. So,
Dougie's doing a good job.
but he's not. He's running tournaments. This is like your regular UBA. I don't want to say the name, but your UBA matches every month. So, a friend of mine, George Williams, and he called me up one night. It's like 1 a.m, and he goes, "Put on ESPN Ocho." Go figure. ESPN Ocho.
Yeah, Ocho.
And I
came up
put
with
it.
that.
And I put it on, and he goes, "You got to watch it. There's competitive tag on ESPN."
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Right. Then there's competitive face slapping.
Oh, that's
That's
Yeah.
so
Brutal.
Dana White's starting to sponsor that shit now.
Yeah. Then
Yes,
now
yes.
there's with the balloon, and now there's pillow
Oh
fighting
yeah, I saw
with
that.
the balloon.
I saw the balloon.
And
Can't
now
touch the ground.
Can't touch the ground. And now there's competitive pillow fighting. Something like that. So,
Keep you up.
yeah, keep you up.
Like
So
Rob
George,
Unreal.
so George says to me,
Mhm.
"Why can't we have a
Are
product
you trying to keep moving
of
on?
regular like bull and put it on TV?" like as a goal. But we should try to do something like with this traveling
luggage.
team, like UBA does,
Your arms sit like this.
and fix the problem they've had for 10 years. Give them a little competition. So we came up with an idea. So we started this thing called X League, and it's going to launch September 10th this year. So it's models their system, whatever you want to call it. 3 pairs. You have a scratch pair.
Mm-hmm.
Second pair is capped 80% at 240. But here's where we're going to be different. The third pair is handicapped 80% at 240 without a player over a 215 average.
Oh wow.
Okay, so this sounds like it's. I'm sorry to cut you off because I'm learning too. This almost sounds like UBA basis, but with some modifications so far.
With a lot of modifications, things that they've kind of dropped the ball on through the years. And then UBA, you can stack the box with 9 guys.
Oh yeah.
Like, take your team, for example, right? When you bowl,
Big outrage.
team. Yeah, you guys. You have Bill Ripper.
You're on
you,
Outrage,
Spence, Mike Taylor.
Huh?
You're on Outrage.
I'm a secret society.
Oh, congrats on your runner-up
so-
to Battle Bowl this year.
11. And then
But you guys can stack the box with 9 240 guys, right? But now the 240 guys want to bowl with little Becky Smith, who's 192, and that eliminates the 192.
Yeah.
So we said if you go under 215, you have to have them bowl, and it kind of makes your roster a little more
Wider.
Exactly, but the roster's only capped at 30 players. So
Okay.
UBA can have 60, 70, 80 people, or a 30.
they take your car. You get them.
So our goal was to have 10 teams for year 1. We have 32 over 5 states right now.
Oh
You
wow.
get it for free.
32
Wow.
over 5 states, with Florida ready to go next year, both of the Carolinas, Georgia, Texas, Illinois, Cincinnati, and in the New England area with Mass, Connecticut, and Maine. Which,
And
by
this
the way,
idea,
on
Mike,
year
this is your baby. This is something.
2, George Williams and myself.
I remember speaking to George about this a while back. Unfortunately, it was one of my drunk lost nights where I didn't remember much, but I do remember speaking to George. So you're already above expectations. Is this thing ready to launch? Because
September
remember,
10th.
I know you're talking to Troy, but I wanted to hear too. So talk a little bit louder.
Yeah.
September 10th, the Jersey Shore Conference is going to launch at Finnegan's.
Okay.
The following week will be Northern New Jersey.
Is this something I can
New York.
get in now that I'm a Jersey native or PA
You
native?
can get in. Yep.
You're a PA guy now.
You're a
Remember?
PA guy.
PA
Yeah,
guy.
that's right. I'm not quite in Blandon, but I'm in Dalton.
They're going to put a sign of in
Which, by the
Blandon,
way, I was
home of the legend.
Troy, you could probably help me here real quick. I was driving and I finally learned that it's not Wilkes Barre for anybody that's not from Pennsylvania. It's Wilkes-Barre, right? Even though
It's Wilkes-Barre, yeah.
RRE.
Wilkes-Barre? Really?
But-
It's Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah, I'm used to,
So
but I passed the
Google.
sign where it says if I went this way it was Scranton Wilkes-Barre, but then the other way was Wilkes-Barre. Or, like Bulk, or something, or Bear Mountain or some shit where I'm like, now I'm like I'm saying BR Mountain or I'm saying
Berry Mountain.
I don't even know if I'm saying Bear correctly or whatever. I'll have to remember the sign, but I just wanted to throw that out there. Yeah, I'm definitely. I lift weights at Brown's gym now.
Who said Orange Blossom?
The weights stick to each other. It's fucked
Where do you
up.
live?
Dirty.
You live.
Yes.
No, I know. I'm trying to figure out the town. I can't remember the town.
I'm by Clark. I'm 7 minutes from Sunny. I'm in Clark.
No, I
Summit.
know. I know. It's a funny town name though. It's
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I can't think of the town name where she lives, but no, I know exactly where it is.
Yeah, it looks like Wilkes-Barre. Or like Wilkes-Barre.
It's north of Wilkes-Barre.
But it's definitely not Barre or Wilkes-Barre. It's definitely not Bear.
Wilkes-Barre at least. Something.
Yeah, Barre.
It's French.
It's French
Yeah.
now. Oui, bonjour.
Oui.
So, Mike, real
Yo.
quick, getting back to X League. So, is this going to be a once-a-month travel type thing? or-
Twice a month. It's going to be 2 times a month. It's
Wow.
going to be either Fridays or Fridays or Sundays. Friday nights
And
or
how many
nights.
men or how many men and ladies comprise a roster? What's a
30.
30. And I believe UBA was 40, right?
They're uncapped.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's
It's
60.
uncapped. So we're doing a roster of 30. But like I said, you got to have the guys that are under 215, so there's going to be the diversity.
Sure.
Now, the other thing that people have complained about over the years is always, the money and whatnot. They hold up matches, teams aren't paying and whatnot. So what we did was, how do we alleviate that? We built a website. The website is, we spent a lot of money. George and I invested a lot of money in this website. You go to the website as a team owner, you put your 9 guys in for your lineup, you submit it. Was it UVA? You're texting somebody or whatnot.
Rob,
Go
can
on
we
the website.
share a link to this website in this podcast?
myxleague.com.
For anybody listening, hit that like
myxleague.com.
button and go check out the link that's going. Apparently, it's 32 teams already across. Would you say, Mike, how many states?
5 states.
5 states already.
5.
This almost sounds like a
and then-
badass team JBT.
And then the other thing too is you're paying online. You have to pay 24 hours before time. So when you go to the bowling center for your match, it's paid for. There's no money going to the house. Everything is done. We cut the check to the house for the line.
That's definitely looking into the future. That's the right.
Oh God, yeah,
for sure.
The only cash that's exchanged is brackets and pots. That's it. So this is the goal. And right now, guys, you know, we're at 32 teams. We figured it out this year. Are you looking at the website? This year, with 32 teams, the prize fund at $128,000 guaranteed. $128,000 guaranteed.
That's absolutely awesome, dude. That's
so you'll pay $40.
Yeah, my phone's
$5
be ringing off the
equated
hook
into that.
for people want me to
$5
bowl.
goes to the lines. So 15 goes to the house for lineage across, the area, and the rest.
Rich.
Rich,
I can't wait to see it on the 20th. And yes, I've learned now to say we'll be there.
We're frozen. Ocho.
Whatever.
Mike, can I ask you a question? How would a bowling center get involved in this? Like, say I want to get one of my centers involved here locally in Tennessee. How would they go about doing that?
I can tell you that off the air if you want. There's a little bit of a process to it, but we're looking for people down there get involved and help us out. So like tournament directors, guys that have like a big following or whatnot. That's what we're really looking for. Troy's watching himself on his own feed right now.
I just saw that.
Troy's watching us on his own Facebook right now.
That's amazing.
This is
I just opened Facebook. There I was.
And there he is.
So what's your goal, Mike? I mean, obviously to get every state involved.
Yeah, the lower 48's the goal. This is the goal. And when we watch that competitive tag and pillow slapping and whatnot, this is the ultimate. This is the goal. Let's just say in 2 years, we want this to get on national TV. If they can put pillow fighting and tag on ESPN, we don't want to see Belmo shoot a 10-pin for $100,000. We want to see like little Becky Jones, who's your cashier at your local CVS, who just took 2 days off, averaged 186, and she needs a double to win $200,000 for her team of 30. And by the way, just go back to register 3 at CVS. People would tune in to watch that.
Yeah, I agree.
And our goal, we've already talked to him. Charlie, I don't know his last name, the guy up in Maine at Portland Bowl, Bayside Bowl in Maine. With PBA leaguers. We've already talked to him.
While you guys are discussing, I'm going to say hey to Aaron, because Aaron's a big fan of Ocho. Aaron's watching right now, and Aaron, this is for you, buddy. Aaron is.
Look at those guns.
You're darn right, and I pulled my right bicep, so it's a little deflated right now.
Not with that.
But that's all right.
You either.
Catch some bears in these traps for Aaron.
Look at that. Look at those lats.
If he ever came into the emergency room with a mask on, I would feel so sick.
I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm just skipping the middle, man, because they're going to wear masks too. I didn't wear a mask before masks were cool. Pandemic made me actually average.
What is that? No, was that Icho Libre or what was that?
He was Lucha Libre.
Lucha Libre. That's it.
Nacho,
Lucha Libre.
Nacho.
That's right. Nacho.
Mike Val is a genius. I love the concept, Mike. I think it's going to do well with all the contacts that you have in the really this. You have a Rolodex of people that can help get this thing going. I'm very excited for the future.
Come in.
Yeah. Enter. Yeah, I mean, the goal is to get it in the lower 48. We've heard a lot of we're waiting for year 2 to see how it goes. And look, we're gonna falter. Everything's going to, but the other organization that we named before, they take 40% off the top. 40%. 40%. That's a problem. We're doing that for the bowlers by the bowlers. We're giving everything back.
It's like FUBU.
Yeah, and the other organization that has problems. You ask to see their financials. You ever see their financials?
No.
And they refuse to show you financials.
Oh, let's all welcome Johnny Petraglia in the chat, everybody.
Yeah, we have a new watcher right now. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. Johnny Petraglia Jr. wants to know: is it always going to be house shots or patterns as well?
No, it's all on house shot. It's league bowling. Right. It's league bowling. There's no need for anything for it. I mean, you know when you're home. No, but again, if you're going to cater to guys, and that you're going to have the higher players as well. But you're going to cater like the 210 to 190.
You're going to have a cap like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't make them hard.
Right.
Exactly. So it's going to be fair.
Yeah, nobody wants to watch, like Ocho struggle on a sports shot. I mean, that's not.
Nobody wants to watch Troy whack him when he's
making money.
I still shot a 600 at nationals, so let's not act like I'm the.
Was that for 4?
Here.
Nothing wrong with that, Ocho.
Was that a 4-game block, Dr. Ocho?
You mother grabber, you
Nothing wrong with that.
Popeyes hostiest snack cakes eating son of a bee stink.
Is that team or singles and doubles?
You got 3 balls to frame.
I shot a 592 with a 600 and then a bad shot.
Wait. Rob. Please, Popeyes in the background.
Look, and the thing to Rob is like, we catered, like, we took the rules for other groups and kind of molded them, and we switched them up a little bit. Like, we've listened to what we've always thought with those other groups.
Right.
And so, we can better. And, their faults, we're going to do this. They do this. The people don't like that. We're not doing that. And then we've come up with some other ideas. We're doing this. So, off the top. So, 40 a week or 40 a match. 15 goes to the house. We're taking $1 out from every ball right off the top for a 5, 7, 10 pot. Leave the 5, 7 to match. Automatically win the pot.
Oh, wow.
Just something different.
Something different.
Just to get back to, little Becky could leave 5, 7, 10.
I left 3 5-7s last week. 5-10s, I'm sorry. 5-10. 3 of them.
Were you spotting?
Tumbled poorly.
So, Mike, how come no one else has had the balls to do something like this? I mean, this is going to be
me and my friend George. And I'm not afraid
to say
the Tynell Tates and the Phil Chances of the world. They're robbing people left and right, and people keep going back to them. And honestly, we can give another product. They don't like competition, like Pepsi and Coke, Apple and Microsoft.
Well, the USBC is not going to be happy with this either. I'm sure you're going to get.
Our goal is to put Chad Murphy out of business in 7 years. But we're also giving awards too. Did you know that? I didn't tell you that part.
You didn't say that part.
We're giving awards. So we modeled it after like the military.
Mm-hmm.
So red, white, and blue. And then you'll have rankings. Like, have you ever played video games or whatnot?
Okay, and they're gone. Oh, and they're back. That
Are they back?
shitty Florida internet. There we go.
There's a shit signal they got. They're in God's waiting room over there, so that's probably why the signal's bad.
Sorry about that, but if JD's still here, it's similar to the pre-golf thing.
Those guns just sat down.
Yeah, so you shoot 300.
Okay.
You get a laser engraved dog tag. 800.
Yeah, you.
Wow.
Yeah, you.
Mate,
Those guns just sat down.
Hey, they're deflating.
I'm telling you.
They still have some structure, but they're deflating.
Wow.
Oh, look at that.
Really?
There's the other one.
Hold on a second. You know what that is? The table?
Troy, I didn't get a chance to watch you bowl these last 2 days. I was actually down with Mom and Dad, which, by the way, Dad's at his end of the year banquet with his junior league, so he's pumped as fuck tonight.
Oh, I know.
So he's drinking some wine.
Yeah, totally. I only got a chance to watch Parker, who's also bowling fantastic this week. He looked closer to the gutter than I've seen in a while today. Were you out that way as well?
Gotta be. You gotta get closer and closer because it's. If you miss it,
seems wishy-washy in the middle on both sides.
It feels like it's 42 feet. It doesn't feel 36.
It doesn't. If you'd have not told me the length, I would have figured it for over 40.
It's not banking off the gutter. It should
Not
be.
banking off the gutter. It's gotta be on top of it and throw it down lane. You can't
What
throw it.
balls have been successful for you this week? We saw you throw a lot of resin last week. So
Ooh, wait a minute. Hold on. Can we get a better? Can I forget the balls, John? I got a better one than this.
all right.
This guy right here, he vandalized a product of the PBA.
Did he? Oh, this is good
Do they
shit.
know that?
Here we go.
Yes.
That's one of the greatest stories I've ever heard before.
No,
Please tell me.
it's not.
It's hysterical. But that just goes to how strong you are.
Stop.
Am I not allowed to say? I want
You
to.
can.
So,
You
John,
tell it.
well, I don't know the specifics, but Troy ripped the door handle off the PBA truck the other day.
Probably like by accident.
Yes, by
No,
accident.
it says
If anybody's curious why he's the best bowler in the world, here's why. He rips door handles off by accident. This is like the Chuck Norris shit. We have to start a Troy Lint thing like the Chuck Norris.
I had to throw a $50 bill down.
Like Troy Lint doesn't have to dodge bullets. He just stops them with his mind. Shit like that. You know? We have to start this kind of line and then like incorporate it with Ultimate Pillow fighting on ESPN 8, the Ocho.
There's no April Fool's tour because nobody fools.
But it's funny, but everybody in the bowling center is like, oh, that's like I ripped the door handle off. Huh? Hey, Troy, how's that door doing?
His calendar goes from March 31st to April 6th.
And the best part about it is if they see that happen, what are they gonna do?
Right.
What are they gonna do? What is fucking I'm trying to think of the first real senior I can think of. Like what would they do if Troy was angry? Yeah, John Handegaard on the senior tour was like my age looking, but he looks 90 anyway.
He was 94.
So what else do we have scheduled for the evening? Should we take some questions from and Eugene? I'm sorry I didn't say a better hello at our league meeting for the Hankel Classic, dude. It's been so long. I was standing in the back of the meeting. I'm like, I know that guy. That guy's a good bowler. Really, really good bowler.
I know him.
And then I was talking to somebody that said he was bowler of the year this past year. I'm like, that's fucking Eugene. I walk up to Eugene and I say, for some reason, I thought that Eric Nielsen was Eugene Olsen. I got the Olsens or the Sons mixed up. But it was great to see you yesterday, dude. I'm looking forward to a full season with you at Howell this year. It's going to be talk about the best from I get the bowl league with the exception of Mike and Heidi moving back down to Florida. For me, bowling league at Howell Lanes with all my friends from over a decade ago is like the greatest thing ever. So.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm really excited for you, Johnny. I am. I do want to know something, and you guys are such treasure troves of bowling knowledge. Given the year that Troy has had, if he continues this pace, say for the next few years, what are the requisites for a PBA 50 member to get into the PBA Hall of Fame?
How hard is that?
I know it's possible.
There is a senior category.
Well, I would look at guys like you just mentioned, like a John Handegaard or say a Ron Moore. Those guys are shoo-ins for the Hall of Fame, if not in already. Mike, is Ron Moore already?
Yeah. They both are.
They're both in, right?
Yeah.
And these guys didn't bowl regular.
So no, exactly. I mean, even guys like say a Gene Stuss, the late great Stuss, or I'm trying to think of even like somebody like Tom Hess, who had a shorter stint on the mainstay of the tour, but he's a legend on the senior tour already. Yeah, of course they'll take in for superior performance at the PBA 50 level.
So they probably don't. They don't have like the structure like the PBA tour. Once you have, was it 10 titles you're eligible? So they're probably have they developed the structure?
Well, you figure, Mike. While you guys are bullshitting real quick, you just mute yourself real quick.
It's much more on the senior for 3 years.
So in other words, if the shortened season on the senior tour is comprised of, say, 1/3 of the national tour, you would think the prerequisites for making the Hall of Fame
6 titles or something like that, maybe.
Or like for instance, I always equate.
He said it's adventure family.
What I do often on the show is Mike, mute, real quick. Hit the mute button, Mike. Mike, hit the mute button. Or Rob, mute him. Thank you. For instance,
I don't want to be rude.
If we know there's certain prerequisites on the regular tour compared to the senior tour, right? Let's call the senior tour 33% of the PBA schedule for the year. A year I'm not even going to get to the Hall of Fame yet. Let me talk about the year Troy's having, because I've talked about this on past shows, and he's here right now, and he's in the room with Schaefer, who I know is listening to this kind of shit, because Schaefer is definitely a numbers guy. Just anybody that loves the Yankees and feels bad about what the Yankees are doing, I actually enjoy reading Ryan's Yankee posts more so than Mike's Met posts.
Is he a Yankee fan?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But for instance, what I equated on last week's show about Troy in the first half hour, if anybody wants to go back while he was kicking ass at Bud Moore's event, I had said that let's say E.J. Tackett just went out on tour this past year, and this was his first year on tour, right? Okay, he makes the show at the Masters, which is a tournament that anybody can make the finals. You have to have a look, but you also have to have luck of the draw, this and that. It's what pair is good, what end of the building is better than the other, fine. You could even fucking say Troy Lint's a one-hit wonder, right? You could say E.J. Tackett's a one-hit wonder if it was his first fucking year on tour, his first event of the season, right? But then you go out and you win the U.S. Open, the way that E.J. and Troy both did. Now, I'm still comparing E.J. on the regular circuit to Troy on this circuit. The other guys in the question for the player of the year this year are Tom Hess, who also has 6 TV shows, John Janowitz, who has a major win, a couple top 5s, and I think he's made, I'm not sure how many top 24s or how many cuts. But now you feed into running the ladder and winning in Morgantown. You feed into a second place finish at the Bud Moore, and you bowled 260, 270 in the semifinal and the second round match before you lost by 20 to Pete Weber. Now you're in contention to make the show in the Villages. The TSC is an hour away from here. EJ's year and Troy's year, I tried to explain this on last week's show, that the year that he's having this year alone makes Troy a Hall of Famer. Just this year. So even 2 years from now, if Troy bowled like shit every event for the next 2 years after this year, I already think Troy is a Hall of Famer based on this 1 year he's had on the tour. Now, that's shitty to say, you can't judge somebody off of 1 year and this and that, but you talk about the dominance. We have a major win, a major second, a major third, 6 television shows, and the senior tour is only what, 13 or 14 events for the entire year? If that.
And it's a stacked tour too. It's not even like it's
exactly,
the Handegards and everybody out there. And I don't mean to discredit them, but you're talking, these are guys that could still compete on the regular tour, half of them.
Exactly. So
it's honestly it's the Legends tour for me, right? It's guys that were on most guys that were on the national tour and just.
But it's the kind of season
older.
that is so glorified in the pinnacle of our sport. But the fact that it's happening simultaneously on the senior tour with Troy is something that I hate that gets overlooked. I mean, I may be partial where I'm at in age, where I'm heading in a decade from now. Maybe I'm a little bit older in my maturity as far as thinking, this and that. But what I see out there is I see somebody like, I'm almost 40. My check engine light's already on, right? So I watch a friend of mine that I've known in every single aspect of the word and on every single platform for at least 20-something years. And I kind of want to be capable of doing 1/10 of what he's doing 15 years from now, 20 years from now when I'm that age. I've shifted my thinking. So I think the lack of respect for the predecessors for every single generation and what they're doing on the senior tour, and even more so, I hate the fact that history gets lost nowadays, is I guess what I'm trying to say. It bothers the shit out of me because everybody knows what EJ Tackett this year. Everybody knows who Jason Belmonte and Anthony Simonson are. Everybody knows. But the respect that Parker and Salvino and my dad have, the guys that are 50 to 55 on the senior tour, 55 to 60 on the senior tour, deserve the utmost respect for not only carrying the torch and chasing both the guys front and behind them, they're fucking kicking ass in a way that's unprecedented.
And they really had
like
the longest, the biggest longevity. I mean, you got Duke, Parker, Pete, Walter. Like these aren't.
Yeah, he's out averaging the greatest bowlers in the world every fucking shot for a season.
And here's Troy coming in saying like, "All right, motherfucker, you want to see some shit?"
Yeah, it's like Lucas Glover. He's like, "Oh, okay, nobody really can identify me anywhere, but I'll just
he just whips it out and throws it on the table
this year and make the
right." Yeah, and then exactly, and then just happen to clear $10 million in earnings. And
can you hear me now?
Yeah, now
yes,
you're good.
Yes, that was
Troy's like the Clubber Lang of the senior tour.
Exactly.
Then he should get a rematch too, because Clubber should.
You should get a rematch against Weber.
Honestly, the way he's bowling right now, he's the David Ortiz of the senior tour.
Don't say I don't
Just
care.
bowl.
He's clutch.
And speaking of the senior tour, I saw Danny Wiseman's name in there, and I'm just have to say, like,
yeah, their era is terrible.
Add to the list of awesome on the senior tour.
Yes, I love Danny.
Yeah. Holy shit.
You want to go to an old lady strip club?
Rob, do we have?
Yeah.
Are we doing any good, bad, ugly?
I'm
in.
Do we have anything like that?
Take your teeth out for you.
I didn't really plan on that. What I do want to talk about, Johnny, is something I brought up on our chat is
Body shot.
Tackett going on the regional tour and winning a title, and there's people complaining that it's not fair that when EJ Tackett walks into a regional tournament, everyone's like, we're fucked.
No, I disagree.
They have a right to vote on anything they want.
I agree. That's why we're going to have a discussion on it.
And the team of the league, they won't leave the league. They pay their dues. Nobody should be exiled out, right?
Well, you see how close
They're
I am?
PBA. Agreed.
They're PBA. It's no different than Jacob winning.
How blue that water is.
Right. Exactly. You're exactly right. But a lot of people are
I
complaining
always
about
wonder
it
why
because,
Billy O'Neill don't bowl.
Right.
That's so cool.
Honestly, I mean,
I don't understand why they don't. All the guys don't
That's
bowl.
why they all cruise, 'cause they're all
I-
right freaking
I want to
there.
bowl the better guys.
right. I mean, but do you understand some people's point of view that it's? I don't want to say it's not fair, but I mean, if if Simo and Belmo and Tackett show up in Oneonta, New York to bowl a fucking regional, everyone's fucked. I mean, do you understand like the other side of the story?
I have an antagonist to that already because the way I look at it,
So you go
I look at it like that kind of would jack me up
Yeah,
because I'd be like, you know what, man? I want to see where I measure. I know I won't beat them.
Oh,
I know I won't beat them, but like
Whoa.
I may learn something from them. I may learn something watching either just what their equipment is, or if I bowl good with them, my confidence is going to get rallied up a whole bunch. So it's a way to measure yourself. If they bowl one regional, whatever. If you're a regional bowler, you're probably going to bowl a few more events, and they won't be in all of them, I guess. I just feel like it's a good test to measure. So I rode motocross for a while, and every once in a while, I was a C rider at best, and I was also old, and I hadn't ridden in freaking 25 years. But when I go to the track, every once in a while, I'd catch up with somebody who was freaking banging it out, banging lats. And you hang on their freaking tire, you see their lines, and you almost start flowing the way they flow. You just feel that you're just stuck with them in their draft or whatever it is with NASCAR talk. And that would, again, we're hitting jumps, we're freaking, hitting triples and whatnot. But that's the only way I can relate it to is like every once in a while. I wouldn't do it by myself because I'd be like, dude, if I fall, I'm gonna be out of work for a month. That's gonna hurt. But every once in a while, when you tag onto that guy who's freaking revving it, you wind up riding as fast as you ever rode, and then you're gassed afterwards. Don't get me wrong, but it's that one time where you're like, "Holy shit! Did I just do? I just did 4 laps with this guy, and I kept him in my sight, and this guy wins races here all the time." That's the way I can relate it. But there's also practice tracks too, so it wasn't my live. I don't know if these guys regionals are just their livelihood or anything. I feel like it's a good test for them. Let's see how they measure up.
My antagonist to this is E.J. Tackett wasn't the best bowler in the world at some point in his life. The same way Babe Ruth didn't hit that many home runs. There was somebody better than Babe Ruth before Babe Ruth. There's somebody better after Ken Griffey Jr. There's going to be somebody better after Shohei Ohtani. And our sport, unfortunately, at the pinnacle level, shuns on people that are good at what they do. And if E.J. Tackett drills the most bowling balls and practices the most hours and shoots the most corner pins and dedicates his entire life to the sport, okay, great, EJ. By the way, now that you've made it to the top, we're not going to allow you to do anything. Doesn't that just sound gross to you? Can you imagine making it to the show in baseball after years of playing in a fucking Mexican league like Jake Taylor and making $200 a week in fucking AA? Or like coming out of the California Penal League or having
Taylor should be
having to be a Rockford Peach or some shit like that. And then when you finally make it to the show,
like Willie Mason,
and the only
we're
thing
Captain
you can do
Sleeves
is
here.
pinch run like Benny Rodriguez from the Stanley. That's my question is like, how could you tell the guy who's dedicated more time than everybody else that he's too good for the opportunity to reach the pinnacle of the sport? It's such an ugly thought to me. Like when I grew up, I wanted to hit the ball as far as Mark McGwire. I wanted to be as smooth and on short as Cal Ripken. I wanted to beat the Baltimore Colts like Joe Namath did when they weren't supposed to even fucking make it in the trifecta of Baltimore getting smacked by New York. Let's go. You should play You're the Best right now. Just real quick. And this is a good spot for
Benny Snell, MVP. Joe Willie should kiss Benny Snell's ass for that game, too.
Right?
But even still, Willie called it. Joe Willie called it.
Now, as from the outsider's perspective, like let's say I'm going to play because I love cornhole and I'm a good cornhole player, right? If I'm going to go to a professional tournament, my whole goal is to find out just how good I am. I don't care if I lose by 100, which I probably will in a pro cornhole tournament, but I'm going there to try and learn what those guys do that I don't. I want to know what Troy is doing when he's not in his comfort zone. And to tell you the truth, I don't know what Troy's comfort zone is anymore. They all look comfortable.
Troy, what is your comfort zone?
I hope you learned a lesson.
Whatever. Play where you got to go.
You don't get better if you play against inferior competition ever. That's the other thing. You'll never get better.
If Mike Valenzano and I go out and we play golf together, and it's just
Not happening.
us, we're both going to shoot between 85 and 90.
You're
if we
being
go
very
out
generous.
and play golf
That's
with
like on
Tommy
the front
Jones
line
and
for me.
Ronnie Russell, we're probably going to shoot 78 to 82. It may only be 4 or 5 strokes better, but they elevated competition, the elevated incentive to play like what you were talking about with motocross.
You
worrying that
concentrate
your
a
back
little
tire
more.
is going to slide out. You keep it in line with the guy that you know is better because you trust what they're doing.
And he's doing it the right way, and you know where his traction is, you know where his downshifting is, and with golf, again, now you're just you're even thinking a little more methodically about it because
now time out. Let's try and relate to your opposite, Rob. I want to know the opposite perspective because obviously my brain, I'm not speaking for anybody else, my brain is lopsided in this way because it has to be. I want to hear your side of this.
Well, I mean, and not that I agree with it, but just to play devil's advocate, the other side is, say the baseball, like major leagues are on the All-Star break, and to get some playing time in, the Braves send down like 6 guys to Marietta or wherever their AAA team is, and they fucking light it up.
Right.
That's not that, you know, or take spots away from other guys in the lineup that would have had a chance to go, but couldn't.
They used to do that.
Yeah,
because players were better, and they could do that.
True. But I mean, you know, it's number one. It's good for it's good for the fans down there. Like, it's good for the people that go to see these regional tournaments and see top names.
Oh, sure.
But just from a player's perspective, if I'm down there and I see Derek Jeter show up, like, I'm like, fuck me. Like, if I'm a pitcher, I'm like, well, we're gonna lose tonight.
But there's no guarantee Tackett's going to run the table either.
Well, you know
That's
what?
the other thing.
Yeah, but what a story is
True.
that.
True.
I'm going to talk to I'm actually Rob, what you just said, let me ask these 2 guys on the bottom because this is a really, really good question that both of these guys understand.
We do.
And this is what you're saying. Mike Val, myself, and Troy, we're all sitting at home. It's a random Wednesday night. I'm watching bowling. Mike's formulating the X League, and Troy is, I don't know,
winning a tournament.
He's mixing some kind of vegetable and like protein, limited carbs, whatever he's. All right, we're all doing our own shit simultaneously in Blandon, PA, Villages, Florida, and Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. No, I don't even live there.
Near it.
We all get a text to go bowl league in a bowling alley we've never bowled with, and the only people we know in the bowling alley is the team we're going to sub with. Now, Troy walks in right now. There is going to be 50% of that bowling alley that looks at Troy and says, "That's Troy Lynn.
Fuck.
That's like my fucking hero, dude. Have you ever seen his backswing? Have you ever seen his ball roll? Holy shit, he's a lefty that actually hooks the ball. Oh my god! And he's big and he has tattoos. And
Jason
fucking jacked."
If I walk into a bowling alley, 50% of the people are going to say, "That's Johnny's son. He's so smooth. He's that, and he likes to party. He likes to drink. He's fun. He's blah blah." Fine. Mike.
I walk in
and then Mike Val walks
on
in.
me.
The other 50% of people,
And people
in that building
spitting on me,
will look
throwing
at
rocks
us
at
and
me.
they're going to say, "Are you fucking kidding? You're gonna let this asshole bowl in this league?
We're done. I'm out.
They're gonna make this face.
I'm out.
And say, no, you just lost the team next year. And then they're gonna put on their shit and they're gonna bowl anyway, right? So this is the 50% slide. And I don't ever remember having an experience where it wasn't 100% lopsided. People either love you or they hate you. Is that the same for you two guys? So I guess where I'm going with this is I feel like Rob should be on the side that wants to be around bowlers, but you're the closest to the middle that I've ever met. And I'm into this conversation. I didn't expect this conversation to happen tonight, but I want to have it now. At least for a little bit.
I try to see everything from both sides. I try to be fair and unbiased, and I try to put myself in somebody else's shoes. Even if I don't agree with them, I at least want to understand their perspective. I've always been that kind of a debater, I guess. I've always wanted to put myself in the other person's head and say, all right, well, why do they think this? There obviously has to be a reason. So in order to do that, I have to kind of be Switzerland. I have to be right in the middle, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not wired to be one way or the other. Obviously,
Except politically.
you are and other people are. it makes for good conversation, right? Because you want to know why these people feel this way, and people feel strongly about
as long
about
as you
their
view it
beliefs.
the right way, it's very educational. You're actually
Right.
trying to understand the way a different majority thinks, and I get that. And
Majority.
I just kind of want to like throw out the fact that there's a lot of people across the country. Now, forget it. I'm not a good bowler. I look pretty getting to the line, and I'm a glorified house hack. I'm going to say that like I've said it every single fucking week. I never make any money when they're hard.
Bullshit.
Don't ever ask me to bowl
Bullshit.
action. I won't do it.
Bullshit.
I don't have the brain for it. I don't have the brain for it. Here we go. Like, see, listen. So, but what I'm really, really trying to get at here is I am involved in the 50 percentile that gets looked at under a microscope the second we walk into a bowling alley, which should be the home. That should be the most comfortable place that we ever walk into. And I'm not telling the front desk lady to give me free games. I'm not telling the bartender to give me free drinks or the snack bar to give me free food. I'm talking about I want to walk into a bowling alley one day and not be shit on because my talent exceeds the capacity of the fucking league that you run on Wednesday nights. I want to go in there and just be a normal goddamn Joe. And I feel bad for Michael Jordan. How could he ever go to a fucking golf course and just go play around the golf with normal people? Can't do it.
Right.
I know what we're not Michael Jordan. I'm not even making that comparison. But what I am trying to say is it's annoying that the first thing you have to think about in situations like a Mike Val or a Troy or a Johnny Petraglia Jr., when you walk into home, the first thing you have to do is be suspect of which one hates you and which one loves you. That's like going into fucking prison and figure out which group you belong with. It doesn't make sense, and there's no good rhyme or reason for it,
Well, we can use a good example of your dad, bowling in league at Howell Lanes. He bowls with Ocho and other people.
Yeah, my dad's
one of the greatest bowlers of all time.
I mean, with fucking real awesome normal people.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's plenty of people who are like, "Oh, fuck me! It's PBA Hall of Famer Johnny Petraglia. He's fucking Mr. Bowling. Everybody knows who the fuck this guy
when he
is."
smashed his fucking chips. That's why they're friends. My dad finally met somebody that was fucking normal. I'm like, with all due respect, there is no such thing as normal, but this group on this panel and that guy, to me, this is normal.
His words were,
these are people that will never
the question
love
is,
you at your worst, have seen you at your worst, appreciate you at your best, and fucking love each other. Like, this is the right kind of life, isn't it?
Johnny Sr. basically said, I love sitting next to you because I know you're never going to ask me a question about bowling ever. I was like, well, all right, you win. And you're right, I won't.
Exactly. And who says
I actually had the privilege of seeing Johnny Sr. in his pajamas about 3 weeks ago, thanks to his son, and not knowing the combination against his community. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Oh, yeah. That. Which, by the way, when I got home, I hit star and the number, and the gate went, hello. And it said, John, please go. There's actually a flashing green sign that said, John, you're clear to go. And I went, oh, thank you. No, it didn't. But if you'd have seen me and Mike trying to get in the house when I was in the passenger seat and couldn't see Mike in the driver's seat. He tried, like, you ever seen National Treasure where Nicolas Cage finally understands it's Valley Forge, it's not a Valley Frygov? That was Mike on the keypad, and he got it open. He got us in.
And I had to walk to the exit side. I said, John, get in front of the sensor and like do this and see if you can open the gate. And here he is, kind of, tuned up. And he walked to the other side, and he can barely walk. And then he says to me, what if you go on the sidewalk and like try to go into the bushes and around the gate? I said, John, that's not gonna work. My truck's too big.
Hey, Chuck, keep it up this
And then
week,
we called his father at 1 o'clock in the morning. We got to open the gate for us.
Chuck, you're also having a great tournament real quick while these guys are making me laugh. Keep it up, my friend. Always a pleasure hearing from you. I got to say something about Chuck Ritchie while he's here. I was that guy that when I created Facebook, I just accepted every single friend request. So now of the 5,000 max that I have, I probably know maybe like 800 of them. But Chuck is the first person I ever scrolled to like the first Facebook request ever and remove somebody so I could add Chuck. So that's how much Chuck means to me. So it's a pleasure seeing you, and thanks for being a fan of the show.
Oh, that's why you fucking kicked me off your page, you son of a bitch.
Now everybody. Hi, Mom, by the way.
John, I want to
made
ask
it to East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania to feed the deer.
Mike
I want to ask a question. I want to ask Johnny a question, and I want to ask the gentleman on the couch. I want him to answer this one too.
Mr. Schaefer?
Mr. Schaefer. Who's the biggest one-hit wonder in the history of the PBA?
Troyland.
Jason Queen.
No one.
Jason
Queen.
It's pretty
Are you
good.
talking about like regular tour?
One hit
wonder?
ever. How 60 years?
Like when
Who's
you
biggest?
hang on, time out. When you say greatest one-hit wonder, are you talking about like the greatest bowler, like Mike Edwards with one?
No, he's
title?
talking about one-hit wonder.
One-hit wonder.
In
like
and out.
Alan Bishop, really?
Alan Bishop.
Tom
Mr.
Smallwood.
Caper saying Alan Bishop.
Alan Bishop made the all lefty show with Stephen Hoddy in
Look at
1992.
this guy pulling his shit out
I
of his
remember
ass.
that show. That was a great show. I actually kind of enjoyed. That was
Ryan,
Jason Couch show.
Ricky
He was on
Wolf.
that show too.
No, sorry, Richie Allen. CK Moore won though.
Who is my greatest
No, he won
one-hit
a-
wonder?
He
I'll
won
tell you
one-
my
he won me a
favorite
couple
guy.
times,
I
didn't
don't know if he won the show, but for
No.
anybody that is a fan of bowling, I want to tell you a story. I know Mike Val knows what this is, but anybody's looking for something fun to watch on YouTube when you have nothing else to do, go to YouTube and type in repertoire of strikes.
Repertoire,
Repertoire-
right?
Emmett Shoots.
When I
Scores.
was 12 years old, I said to my dad, "Dad, do you think I'll ever make a TV show?" And he said, "John, I'm going to show you something." And he took out a VHS tape of, I think it was the 79 Showboat or whatever it was, whatever year. And he puts in this tape and goes, "This is Emmett Shoots." Emmett Shoots is from State College, Pennsylvania. And he plays the first frame for me, and I watch this guy throw the ball. I'm 11 or 12 years old at the time. And all I see is a Hanukkah dreidel spinning down the lane with white finger grips. Legit, his axis point had to be, I don't even know
Made out of plastic, though. Not
what
out
that
of clay,
axis point is. Well, anyway, he's bowling one of the top, well, if not the greatest, one of the greatest bowlers of all time. He's bowling Earl Anthony. And Emmett Shoots, frames 3 through 9, throws a 6-pack against the greatest, Earl Anthony. And you could watch Earl in the background get mad. You could watch him kick the ball return. You could watch him make faces at Harry Golden, the old PBA director.
And you aren't too thrilled with his ball
And this,
release either.
So I watched this 6-bagger and I watch Emmett Shoots defeat Earl Anthony. And then my dad turns off the television. He says, "So you want to reconsider your question about you think you'll ever make a TV show?" And I said, "All right, I think I'll make a TV show."
Now here's
Dad."
the thing, though. But the guy did have to bowl 40-something games
He
to
did,
get there
which
too.
is-
So
when you
that's-
watch the show, it makes it fucking crazy.
That's yeah. So I wish they would tell you that, and that's what I always said about bowling in the beginning. I didn't even know they had to bowl that many games until Rondo brought me down to the Carolier one time. For
I
a
got
tournament.
so into the story, Rob. What was the actual question?
Oh shit!
I was obviously
All right.
going somewhere with the question.
My bad.
I don't know.
All right, well.
Troy,
One
what
hit
was the
wonder.
The
question?
question was the biggest one-hit wonder.
Oh, the biggest one-hit
Nah,
wonder was
that's right.
not Emmett Shoots, but obviously, in that respect, for that, it was
Alan
my
Bishop.
biggest.
What a
one-hit
great name
wonder-
too, though.
DJ Moore. Was it
Emmett
CK Moore?
Shoots. That's a
CK
fantastic
Moore?
name, by the way.
CK Moore won twice, man, and he was
Did he?
8-0 in his first 2 TV shows until he finally lost.
Right,
in
who was it?
Harrisburg.
Brian
He lost in Harrisburg
Davis?
to
Was that his
Dennis
name?
Horan in the
Was
title
that his
match.
name?
Dennis Horan was throwing a fucking Pacific Storm, and he opened the first 2 frames. He flagged the 7-pin, and he left a blower 7-10 in the second, and somehow beat CK Moore. CK was throwing like a Dynathane EFX or something.
Guy pulls out everything.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Brian Davis,
CK
299, never bowled
also
again, right?
ran
Brian
a ladder
Davis.
with a
Brian
Pearl
Davis.
Omega and bowled 300 in Austin, Texas that same year.
John.
And he won Rookie of the Year that year, so he's not a one-hit wonder.
He was good.
My one-hit wonder. Who is my fucking one?
Brian
Who
Davis.
won a PBA title that
I feel
should have
like,
never won a PBA
Eric
title?
Adelson, remember
Think
him?
about this. I'm going to go outside and have a cigarette because I still do this. Kids, by the way,
Brian
don't ever do this.
I know, Ryan is a bull.
John Nolan.
He was good. I liked him.
John Nolan.
Don Nolan at the Masters. We can't count the Masters. We can't count.
Why?
Is that the one that?
Because Brett Wolf won the Masters.
Is that the
too.
one that's like anybody can win kind of
The
thing?
Masters is somebody that's not just to be their master.
Gets hot.
I don't know. They do.
It's not like your rules. Did you make?
Got to be a different tournament. I like Schaefer's pick of Alan Bishop.
Our chat says Eric Adolphson, Roy Munson, Kelly Kulik. I don't know. I think Kulik was better than that. Are you? What are you guys doing?
Just scrolling.
Even his fingers are jacked. Look at that shit.
He's literally flexing his thumb.
He is. It's incredible.
Dude, that phone just freaking.
The dexterity.
That phone,
The dexterity in that man's
that
hand, I'm
phone
telling
is
you.
moaning right now. The way they're doing it, the way he just did that.
I'm jealous of the fans. I'm just saying.
Steve Fields.
When did he?
Hey, Troy, how's the knee, by the way?
What?
How's your knee doing right now?
The shot helped.
Yeah.
Cortisone shot helped.
Steve Fields.
That's good to hear. What's are you bowling tomorrow? What's the rest of your week look like?
I got double burn tomorrow, so I don't bowl till 5.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's like right when
So-
Do you obviously you prefer bowling in the morning so you don't have to wait so long?
No, I don't mind. It doesn't matter.
Oh, you don't mind it? Okay.
I don't sleep, so it's.
So he knows I can get Oreo.
I don't get a
All
lot
right,
of
we had
sleep.
to ask this before, Troy. When you bowl in the morning, do you have to get
Jimmy
your teeth
Johnson.
out first, or do you like have to chance it so you don't go, and then like you're at the bowling alley, and then all of a sudden
was
you
that?
have to go? Do you have to get your morning poop out first before
No.
you go if you're bowling? Okay, so that's not even a thing. We asked Marshall Kent this, and he had a legit thing about it. He's
Oh, there are a bunch of guys like that.
no, because I mean, most people are. I mean, I can't speak for most people, but regularity says, when
The
you
guy with a
get
massive.
up and you start your day. And so, Johnny Petraglia in the chat again. And
I
he
got
said,
rules.
He said he would get to the bowling alley, for this 8 a.m. spot and say that was a plus
No,
200 dump.
So maybe he would know the answer.
So,
to this.
and I also feel like with the hygiene, you have to clean up and you bring your whites and everything, and don't confuse your bowling cleaner with your whites and whatnot.
It's your right thumb. It's your right thumb. Not your left thumb.
So you're good. It don't matter morning,
Dude,
evening. You could just
Parker
go.
told
And
me
you're
it's
ready.
I just
to
go. When I gotta go, I
I
gotta go.
Bowling
I got you. All right. That would get
I-
because I'm a morning guy, and that would get in my head a bit. And I'd be
Go to
like,
roll
man, I
call.
got that.
What time do you get up?
I get up early, so
You
that's
told me
just
no
me.
bowling,
But
right?
that's
What's early?
6:30ish
Yeah,
for me.
yeah,
I mean,
that's
I
all.
don't go to bed till 2 or 3. That's the other problem.
Ocho doesn't sleep either.
Ask all my roommates. I don't sleep.
No,
They'll wake
I've
up and
had
I'll be
insomnia
up
my
there
entire
looking at
life.
them.
Well, it's just that I can function on it too. Until once a month, I'll need to
Single
sleep.
5 and 10s.
But it's still. But I'm very regular.
these
That's
guys.
all my thing is.
So that's
That's
5 or 6 in these.
I'm
I
at
also
least
don't bowl
like
in
5.
tournaments.
Dallas
I
policemen
don't bowl
ball.
in tournaments at
Think
8
of it.
a.m. either, and where my
Boom,
body's
boom,
moving and
restaurants,
doing
project,
stuff and whatnot. And anyway.
Oh, true. These guys get up and they see me sitting on the couch taping up for the day, taping my entire leg.
No,
Looks like
I
a
mean,
top.
well, and that's what you have to do now too. I mean, you get the kinesio tape and everything. You said you had I guess you had a cortisone
That's a
injection or
phenomenal
something?
story.
Let me ask you this, Troy. So you don't have a regular routine. You're not superstitious. You don't have something that you do all the time. You just kind of go with the flow.
I got him a lemonade today. I did. I was trying to drink it for 2 games.
Wade Boggs used to have chicken at night and spaghetti.
Oh, I know.
Day, so.
Yeah, but he was superstitious like you wouldn't believe. He wouldn't step
Derek
on
Lowe
the
was
line,
too.
all that stuff.
Oh, right, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a little oddball, but
But he could play.
no, the guy could hit,
Hell
man.
yeah.
He's
He
in
was
Hall
a
of
fun
Fame
player to
for
watch.
3,000 something hits, and
That guy nobody was.
So
Well, Troy, how do you function on such a lack of sleep? Like, how do you get through your day with
I
energy?
drink a lot of
You
money.
just okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
See, there had to be something. I knew I
hey,
would get
Troy,
out
let
of
me
here
ask you
sooner
this:
or
do you lull during the day, like around 2 or 3? Do you get like a lull? Because I definitely do. All right, so that's a difference.
Not always.
Where do you get to be my
Not
age?
always. How old are you?
Don't worry about that. Ocho is
You
ageless
told me
and timeless.
you're 8. I'm double nickels. I'm 55.
later. You got a
Yep.
couple
You
years.
got me by 5 years, damn it.
I thought of a great idea for our 100th episode just now while I was smoking.
Nickels.
Double nickels.
We unveil Ocho.
Ooh, that's a good idea. We finally
So the
see, I don't know
entire
if we
world can start kissing his ass.
I don't need more women falling in love with me. I don't need that. That's not right.
I've been staring at his mask for the better part of 5 years now, and I'm curious to see what he looks like as well.
All lies. All lies. You know what he looks like.
Kayfabe, Troy. We're not supposed to tell everybody that we know. Ocho. Ocho.
Those 3.
Yes.
Can you hear me, Ocho?
I heard you the whole time. I was just ignoring you.
1 for 1.
I don't know
Yeah.
Alan Bishop.
Why
Look
are
that
you
up.
so mean to me,
I
man?
looked that up.
Because I hear people yelling in the background over there, and I'm getting all side. I got the attention span of a flea, so that's my own issue.
What I want to know, Ocho, is since you have the mask on all the time, how are your eyes tan now? Because they're usually white. How'd you get your eyes tanned?
Well, only this part's tan, obviously.
Well, usually it's white. You look tanner than usual.
I've been doing shows in the pool, man. It's usually daylight still. See, you know.
What the fuck is that?
If you have to ask,
Yeah. We should just end the show if you have to ask.
seriously.
I'm not a Kiss fan, by the way.
I don't need the
That's
prosthesis.
actually the worst thing I've ever heard you say. Just
Yeah,
throwing
I mean,
that out there.
besides that, all the Popeyes and
Although I
how
don't
sick you
think
are.
Gene Simmons had turkey neck. I need to get this in here.
Well, he's old now, so I mean, Gene Simmons is in his 70s. Oh man, now the show's going. Love that chicken from Popeye. Stop acting like you need the mask to do that.
Yeah. Yes.
No, honestly, I'm not a Rolling Stones fan. I'm not a Kiss fan. There's a lot of older bands that I just don't dig. I'm just not into it.
That's okay.
They're fantastic businessmen. They're fantastic performers. I just think their music sucks. That's just me.
Okay. That's enough.
That's enough.
That's enough. Fuck you. Who cares?
On to the next segment. We're gonna talk about.
You're cool. You're cool. Fuck you. You're cool. I'm out. What? Look, I didn't expect to have a legend in the house.
No,
I'm here every
Detroit
week.
legend.
What are you talking about?
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Neither did I.
He kind of threw me off my whole routine tonight. So,
Oh, you mean you would have done good?
Well, I would have done well, genius.
You belong in a well.
Chuck Ritchie says we want a Love Ocho shirt. We do need merch.
We're going to
for
the
show.
art
We
department.
definitely,
Yes,
We
for
do
sure.
need merch, obviously.
we definitely deserve
We'll-
merch.
we'll-
Do we want to talk about the good? I mean, how long do you want to go, Johnny?
I don't give a shit. I'm staying at Ocho's tonight.
That's
I
cool.
mean, we
That's-
got 15 minutes ish at least. So
all right, 15 minutes.
As long as
Let's-
Ocho's wife is willing to drink the last shot in this bottle.
Oh, for
Jen?
God's sakes.
Are you okay with that?
I'm absolutely fine.
She said yes. So yes, we're in. All
right, I got some rapid fire questions.
Have this? It's only a halfie.
I got some rapid fire questions for Troy and Mike.
Let's do it.
I can never get her to do this.
Which, by the way, real quick before you rapid fire, let me
Never
talk
does.
about Mike Val one more time.
Do we have to?
Yeah, real quick. I just want to do a little bit of bragging, real quick about
Do we
Mike
really
Val.
have to?
I had to delete pictures.
I'm covered by a massive tricep and bicep.
Sorry.
Hang on. We're gonna.
Ocho, you can kill somebody
We're
with
gonna
those. You got to
toast
watch
to
out where you
Mrs.
put them.
Ocho from the other side of the camera first.
Cheers.
To Mrs. Ocho.
More poop questions.
Hello.
Oh, I don't do that.
And happy first birthday to Gabriella. And happy.
Just
fifth-
don't Hulk
fifth
Hogan
birthday
Ocho's
to
wife.
Yours, Rob.
Yes, thank you.
The real
sir.
quick Mike Val thing is, you know when you don't expect to see somebody that you genuinely love and then you do? It's like the greatest thing in the world. It totally negates any negative thought you may have in your brain. I was at Howell Lanes this past Monday for the league meeting to hang out with my new team. And I walked out front to have a cigarette. And as I was walking through the first set of glass doors, this car was about to park and it stopped. And I said, is this motherfucker looking at me? Looking at me from inside fucking one set of doors? I walk out to the second set of doors and I hear, hello, handsome. And it's Mike. I thought he was already in Florida. But I had the pleasure of seeing Mike one more time than I thought I would while I was home, which was awesome. So not only to have you here.
I'll see you in Lakeland too, John.
I didn't hear him. But
He
See
said
you
you
in
suck
Lakeland
a bag
for-
of dicks, John.
I still can't hear him.
suck a bag of dicks, she said.
Is that what you said?
That's what he said.
I don't say that.
What did you say? I couldn't hear
You
you.
know, the people want to go to bed here, John. We have to wrap this up.
You
People
guys
wanna go
can
to
leave
sleep
whenever
here.
you want. This is
Rapid fire you.
Sure.
I'm waiting for your rapid fire.
All right, rapid fire.
Sorry,
Let's start with
Sorry.
let's start with
That
Troy.
was
Favorite.
Mike's way of saying thank you, John. Hurry the
Yeah, you
fuck
were
up.
trying to be nice.
I got
too.
it. I get it. Go.
People want to go to bed
He has
here.
to
Am I
bowl. He
lying?
has to
Yep,
win.
you're
Go,
right.
I'm not
go.
lying.
Rapid fire, quick.
Troy.
Keep his brushing his teeth.
Favorite food.
Another good one.
Steak.
Oh wait, hold on.
I just made him tonight. Hang on.
Nice.
Another good one, everyone. Martin Larson.
Martin
That's a more
Larson.
recent one,
Another
yeah.
good one.
Ooh.
Kelly Kaufman.
What did they say?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Wonder. I'm still thinking.
Mike.
Yo,
I know there's a lot, but what's your favorite food?
a lot. Oh, sushi.
Guess what I made
Brian
tonight for dinner for us?
Davis.
Sushi. What
Brian
the fuck?
Davis is-
We said-
that's the
we
one
said
hit
Brian
wonder.
Davis.
Okay.
Guess
Yep.
what we made for? Guess what I made for dinner tonight for everybody?
Steak and rice.
Steak. They made everything else. I made steaks.
Steaks were good.
Do you have some broccoli?
Go
A1
ahead.
or no A1, Troy?
No A1.
No.
No broccoli.
Bleeding.
Bleeding.
Bleeding?
Three flip extra milk.
Mike, I don't know if
Extra
I said it loud enough, but tell Schaefer Brian Davis.
He said that one
He
already.
did.
No, that's my definite number one hit.
All right, go ahead, Ryan.
Troy, what's your favorite thing to do when you're not bowling?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Really?
Taking that.
I'm boring.
He's actually working a lot with his 8-iron, I've heard, on the golf course.
Just the one.
Just the one club.
Side conversation. We're not gonna do that tonight.
He's like the modern day tin cup.
Mike, same question for you. What do you like to do when you're not bowling?
Gamble. Play
Fuck,
cards.
Really?
So much. I love you
Yeah.
so much I could take it.
What's your favorite card game then? What do you like? Texas Hold'em? Blackjack?
Regular Hold'em, gin.
Type of
Gin.
Yeah.
I never played that. Isn't that old
I've
people?
never beat my grandma.
No, I thought it was an old people
Yeah,
thing. I
never,
didn't even
ever.
know.
And my grandfather would say, I've never beat your fucking grandmother. I'd say, don't worry, Gramps, me neither.
Troy, share something that somebody would not know about you. Just something unusual, something you like to do,
Ooh, that's a
something
good
that
one.
nobody would know.
That's a really good one.
that nobody would know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now we're on.
Well, I mean,
Or a limited few people.
the average person
More
wouldn't know
people
about you. Right.
You know.
I don't know. I don't know. I love coaching.
That's cool. No, I like that.
I like what
I
JD
like that.
just said because that's definitely true.
What?
That he's got a
fucking
hard
head.
fucking dome.
Who said that?
JD. Of course it was JD. Come on.
All right, let me rephrase that then, Troy. Something you're good at that, other than bowling, that somebody would know.
Yeah, like I'm really good at ping pong. I would play
Designing.
anybody.
Designing.
Okay.
Designing, remodeling.
Oh,
You
like
would
house
lose.
stuff. Oh, that's pretty cool.
I like that. All right, what about you, Mike?
You
Same
can ask me a
question.
construction question. I'm pretty educated on that.
See, I wouldn't know that. See, we're learning something new.
Let-
What about you, Mr. Val?
Yes. Get Mike and then let him go to
Something
bed,
that
both of them.
Something that you're good at that nobody would know about.
I am an excellent cook.
Everybody knows you. Put it on
Yeah, we
YouTube.
can tell.
Cooking videos are
Yeah,
right?
I asked.
Doesn't he post about food
She's
sometimes?
an excellent cook.
Yes,
too.
of course.
Just
Yeah.
based off what she's made for me.
Go ahead.
Good.
First movie you ever saw, Troy?
In a movie
Yep.
theater?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Man,
Who was
how about
Xanadu?
outside that I can
Xanadu?
remember? I can
don't
remember
even
going
like
to see
saying
it. Oh God! Here, I'll give you a movie that most of you won't even know. The Car.
The Car?
Was that like Christine?
Yep. The movie, The Car. You Google it.
Was
Okay.
that,
My grandfather took me to
was that
that.
in black and white or was it in color?
We're Googling it.
That's just wrong, Rob. That is just wrong.
Mike, how many times has somebody thrown a
Sorry,
rubber
Mops.
frog from the fair on top of a bowling alley and taken it from you?
At least once. How many times has somebody played golf with you, split their pants on the first hole, take their pitching wedge, and rip the pants more to make it look like the shrouded
It was
Jesus?
I was
on
gonna
said
say it was the
player.
closest thing I've ever seen to Jesus'
It's
actual.
actually called the Shroud
form.
of Turin, but it's got Jesus' face.
I'm not going religious or political. All I'm
I'm
saying
just
is
not- like,
whatever Mike was wearing, Jesus was wearing. Without the Tiger Woods
It
logo.
ended up that way because
Maybe
John took his
that's
wedge
what-
and put it in the hole and ripped it more. And the guy we were playing with saw, he goes, "Yeah, I'm just going to play through. I can't play with you guys the rest of the day."
Go
Did you
ahead.
bring us food?
That is fantastic. Mike, same question for you. Can you remember the first movie you ever saw?
Kinda.
The Car.
No.
Oh, you're talking Mike.
I think I saw the Muppets take Manhattan in the
Did you
movie.
ever see Boomerang or Backside of the Future?
I own Muppets Take
think so.
Manhattan.
There it is.
It's a great movie.
Oh yeah,
So King
those are
Kong,
the
the
classics.
original one.
Empire Strikes Back was mine. Was the first movie that I saw. when I was a
Never
kid.
saw Star
I
Wars.
saw that.
Never seen a Star Wars movie.
Wait a minute.
Never
Wait
seen
a
it.
Mike, neither
minute.
have I. That's why we're friends.
What? Both of you?
Nothing
Really?
against Star Wars or Trekkies or anything
Rob,
like that.
I've seen them all.
Nothing
Yeah, me
against
too,
that.
man.
All of them.
Multiple times.
My
I'm a
dad
geek.
and mom
I'm
get
a
mad at
nerd.
me.
I am too. So you and I are in the same.
I only
page.
just finally saw them because Family Guy
However, I
did
have
a parody.
seen Spaceballs.
I just watched,
I watched
that
that
today,
the other
John.
day.
I just watched it today.
May the Schwartz be
That's
with you.
When is now?
We've just gone plaid.
When does man become now? Soon.
Ludicrous speed.
Go!
We've just gone past it.
So I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
We ain't found shit.
Mike took
We ain't found
See,
shit.
this is one of those movies where you can take the line
Right.
away.
Go ahead.
The t-shirt.
Final question.
The coloring book. And wasn't the cup also?
Spaceballs the flamethrower.
Let me know when you're done. Let me know when you're done.
Johnny, the best line from that movie is at the very end when they're in the Johnny, when they're in the escape pods. The best line of the whole movie: "Come back, you fat bearded bitch."
Oh yeah, Rick Moranis as Dark Helmet.
It's
Go ahead.
Mega Maid.
Hurry up.
She's gone from suck to blow.
Hit us up.
All right, final.
All right, let Troy go to bed now.
Final question for
It's not me.
final question. Troy, when it's all said and done, what do you want to be known for the most?
Wow, that's a deep one. I'm gonna
Jack Handy.
be quiet for this one.
I feel like we should be like singing "Kumbaya" around that question.
Or have you already done?
A good friend.
Well, you've definitely already done.
You are.
Absolutely right about
The
that.
sexiest thing about you is your modesty and your humbleness throughout this epic run you're on. And it couldn't happen to a better person. All jokes aside, all booze aside, your decisions in life are paying dividends, and your best friends are behind you every fucking step of the way, dude. We love you so much. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Fuck.
I'll tell you a quick story.
Please
Johnny.
do.
Here, look.
Go ahead.
Goosebumps.
I'm the same as you right
Another
now.
Mike moment. Another Mike moment last week on the show. You know, 8th frame against Billy. Just, you know, people have no idea.
He would have been here every step of the way. With
Oh,
you,
my
too.
God.
He would have been every step like it, 100%.
And it sounds like he still is. And
Yeah.
by judging, I'm assuming he talked to you in the
No.
eighth frame, and you did what you were supposed to do, just like you've done all year. So
Talk to him a
don't make
lot.
me mushy now, too, dude. Just isn't it time for you to? But don't you have to bowl tomorrow? I got something to watch tomorrow.
Yes.
You
Absolutely.
do.
Go.
Wait,
I'm not
and
done
the
yet.
note
All right,
on-
he's
wait,
not
and-
done. I'm sorry.
Oh, my bad.
No,
my
I mean,
bad.
I'm not done.
I'm sorry.
No, you're right. I'm just not done. The bowling part's not
Oh,
done.
God, no, right, exactly. So
Oh,
there's the motivating
What
part.
about swimming tomorrow?
Still
So
got
there you
gold.
go. Now you can
Swimming
get yourself
pool?
out of the mushiness and get to the motivating
I'm
part
getting
again.
there.
There you go. You're good.
This
What is
whip.
he doing?
Cool whip.
How do you say cool whip?
Cool whip.
All right, another quick question, Troy. Just off the top of my head. Provided you stay healthy, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, is what they say here in Tennessee. What are your plans? How many more years do you want to go? You know, if you stay healthy.
Good fucking questions today.
As much as I can. I definitely got to get in better shape.
What the?
I got to get I got to get the.
There
knee
is
done.
bowling
The knee
shape.
really
No,
goes
he's right.
back.
Because bowling, we already talked about it. The muscles
And
you
then,
use are very accessory muscles.
Okay, all right.
I got to lose 20 pounds. I got to lose 20 pounds, and you know, I mean, these guys. You look at the good guys. You look at the guys that are
Sure.
the Parker, the Chris
They
Barnes,
look the same.
Monticelli.
We're talking about duration.
These guys are fit.
The question was
These
how
guys are
long.
fit.
Right.
Okay, Parker's
And
fit.
if you look
He's-
at guys like
he's-
Amleto, Barnes, Walter Ray, for Christ's sake. I mean, Janowitz.
Okay, that's
A
fair.
little bit of gray, and they look exactly the same.
Schaefer. Look at Schaefer. Schaefer's fucking
I know.
shoulders have
Ryan
been
looks
wider than
great.
his waist his entire life. I mean,
Well, here's a follow up to that, Troy, because
Totally.
and this can relate to people in any sport, honestly, whether it be wrestling or baseball. Will there come a time like when you don't have it anymore? You're not going to stick around that long. You're like, all right, I'm done. I can't. I'm not going to try
Oh,
to push through it.
I was told at 25 I wouldn't make it because of the backswing.
Wow.
Here I'm at 55, still with the backswing.
Pissing on everybody, all the haters.
I don't want it to be
that
that high.
sounds
but
like
it is that.
somebody else they told. I think it was Mark Roth, and also Jason Belmonte.
Oh,
I
that's
think
true.
They said, Mark, you can't do that. I think they said, Jason, you can't do that. And they're like, Troy. They also tried to tell Couch that when his was almost as high as
Didn't they
Troy's.
try to tell Pete that? Because
They also told Freddie Mercury that he sucked at
he
singing.
wasn't good at singing. And,
Yeah.
They
It's
tell
pretty,
people,
it's pretty cool.
It's
what
always the people
will
that have the
say.
talent, and the ones that don't have it will knock them down a bit and say, "No, you can't do that. You shouldn't do that.
Oh yeah.
I get knocked down, but I get up again.
You don't
Oh,
get
yeah,
that."
everybody keep
I'm not getting down. I'm getting back
Easy,
up.
Chumba.
I didn't hear no bell.
I didn't hear no bell.
I didn't hear no bell.
No bell. Love that.
Cut me, Nick.
Rendezvous. I can get it.
Rendezvous. You think they smell like a man? I say absolutely no. What do you smell mainly? Neil Manley. Can you read that
Neil
right?
Manley.
I love this shit. I do. I love you guys. Mike and Troy, especially Troy, thank you for showing up tonight, man. Like that's such a cool surprise. Mike, thanks for bringing him on, dude. Or, for coming on here and
What? That means
I tried, Rob. I'm glad. Rob, plug my myxleague.com one more time.
go to myxleague.com if you want to sign up for the new X League. See if it's available in your state. If it's not available,
Johnny's about to go through the wall air conditioner unit. Look at him.
Johnny's got the giggles now. It's never going to stop. So
That was very funny. It was like, what are you doing?
What is going on? What do we miss?
I don't know.
I don't.
Everything apparently.
Smeals mainly. That's all. That's all it is. That's all it takes. Okay, good.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
You guys
Love
are
you guys.
awesome. Love you guys.
Go get
Mike,
it.
I'll be there soon, bro. I love you.
Peace out,
Hey,
guys.
appreciate
Good
it.
night, Troy. Watch you tomorrow, dude. Love you.
Wow, that was unexpected, but that was badass. That was.
Man.
We have some moments on this show, don't we? Like we really do.
We do. We have fun, man, and we talk real shit
Yep.
partially, and I think this trio right here, now that they're gone real quick, at least for a sign off for anybody who's still here through all this shit, is we're a great trio. Somehow, some way, all three of us, were totally different, and we work somehow. It makes no sense to me, but it's.
That's very.
And if you
true.
believe
What
that,
the
leave
fuck
a review
does?
on iTunes. Make it a 5-star review and tell us why that you think we do mesh well and whatnot, and why my arms are still looking good even though I don't exercise as much. Ow!
That's a great point, Ocho. Please leave us a 5-star review on Apple, iTunes,
Or leave an
Apple
honest
Podcast.
review. 5-star would be great because we
Yeah.
deserve it. But you know what I'm saying.
Mainly because there's this troll who I think somebody knows, but if you guys write a couple nice reviews, it cancels out his bullshit review.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
probably somebody saying these guys curse too much and their shit brings nothing, and I'm gonna just bother their lives. Meanwhile, obviously, you all know our only job is to create happiness, which obviously you can see.
And he listens too.
From an
He or she
emotional and a
listens.
historical
Yeah,
standpoint.
true, very true.
So-
Talk about hitting all points, man.
Yeah. So. And,
Also, please subscribe to our YouTube
I
channel
have
as well.
neglected guys like Sperone, Brandy. Brandy's not a guy. Sperone, Dan. I've neglected Brian. Everybody in the chat. Keegan, all the way from Australia. Again, we do this for you guys. We do this to have a good time on a random midweek where everybody has to go to work tomorrow, and at least you can forget about all the normal shit in life and close your eyes tonight and just kind of be happy. And it's kind of why we do this. So thank you all so much for being here. Ricky, Taryn, obviously everybody, you know.
We're the best
And,
threesome ever.
You have to give, speaking of which, I told Aaron
That can be arranged.
give one more. I watched
Oh
it,
yeah. Okay,
but
sure.
I told Aaron, instead of screaming at the
Because I
camera,
couldn't get freaking them to shut up.
well,
That was-
now that you have the floor to say one good night to our special young friend who is named after Aaron Judge. Just so
oh
you know,
man, well,
this is not like an AA Ron Keen.
no, he's
Aaron.
not right.
This is
Right, you
like
are not AA Ron. You
the-
are Aaron. You are
the
the.
Aaron,
Here
you
come
know?
the judge, Aaron. Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
Welcome, and you keep watching, and you keep learning, and stay in school, buddy. And Aaron Judge is going to set more records just for you, just like Ocho does. And you always be nice to mom, because mom got you here, and mom's the one that's always taking care of you. That's the beauty of it. You can always look up to her for any advice. And is he a bowler too?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's a bowler.
And a
You-
baseball player.
And even better. I'm going to teach you how to throw a knuckle curve, Aaron. I promise you. I'm going to send you a video one day.
We appreciate you, Aaron. Thank you for watching and listening.
Thank you.
And we thank everybody that's here every single Wednesday night. And those of you listening to us in podcast form, where, Ocho, can you find this show?
In my skimmer. It was one of my skimmer with the.
You found another one in your skimmer.
In the spotted with the spotted lanternflies are like trying to procreate.
Yeah.
They were fornicating on a podcast.
Yeah, they tried to have sex with me.
Yeah, and with him.
Swat one off my neck.
Wow.
He said, "Tell your friends. You need more of
Yeah,
it."
if you see those things, I don't kill bugs. Like I'll let the ants go and the spiders.
Yeah,
and
that's
shit.
a trespassing.
If you
It's
see a
not fair.
lantern fly out,
Get rid of it.
ruin its life.
I
You
let them
literally
sit in the
can find-
skimmer, and I tell them, "Hey, make sure your pals know where you are
Yeah.
for your demise."
Make it like a sick death, like a thought out, like a
Mhm.
well
Think about it.
a well thought kill.
Fucking ain't right. Better than rat poison.
So you can literally find this podcast anywhere podcasts are found,
Anywhere.
even in Ocho's skimmer.
Oh
We are on all podcast platforms. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr., or just search Straight Up 5 Podcast and subscribe, like all the videos, share, tell your friends, spread the word that this is the best bowling show in the world. And not just bowling show, but really just this is the best podcast in the world.
Hell yeah.
In the world.
Hell yeah. It's
And
real
we
life.
thank you.
This is real shit here, guys. Everybody come here, no judgment passed. We're fucking all nuts and we're all normal.
At the same
Let's-
time.
let's
You're
do
damn
it.
right.
Hell yeah.
And Shira, fuck you still, by the way. Just letting
That's
you know from last
Aaron's
week.
mom.
Where is that's so fun.
That's Aaron's mom right there.
Oh,
So he,
That's
awesome.
he heard your shout out.
well, now I feel bad that we're
No. Look,
Well, and also, do I have a Twitter? Does anybody have Twitter anymore? We don't do that.
and if
At
anyone needs a really,
JPJR.
really good bodyguard, talk to Big Sal up there at the top of the chat.
Sal Marciano. Holy yeah, shit. Everybody
He's-
knows Sal.
Cool. Rocky.
Rocky.
It's Rocky Marciano's grandson.
Well, that's Marsicano.
Oh, okay.
He
It's not
would,
Marciano.
he would
Okay.
kill. He's
I got my Italians.
the first person I would call if you ever had a problem. Love you, pops. All right.
In
let's
any event,
get out of here, man. I've been here
Well-
like an hour and a half.
let you know shit.
And
Thank you
people,
everybody for joining
Happy
us.
birthday again to both of your girls. Both of you guys.
Thank you, Johnny. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Guys, we'll see you next week for another edition of Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr., myself, and Dr. Ocho. And who knows? Somebody else might show up too. You just never
Do
know.
the Taryn real quick.